go live. Hola, ¿cómo están? Oh my goodness. It's good to see you guys. I'm here. Bonjour. Happy Sunday. Feliz Domingo. All right. Let me see if one person is here before I move away. I'm still gathering my stuff. Today we are making coq au vin, and we marinated our chicken last night, and it's ready to go. All right, just waiting for somebody to say hello. I know you're here. There you go. Hi, Deborah. How are you, my dear? All right, now I know that you can see me. I'm going to be moving around, gathering my stuff, okay? Bonjour, bonjour. This is a very easy recipe. Hopefully it's not going to take us long at all. Let me make sure I have a cover that is big enough for this when I cover the chicken. And maybe I'll just use foil. Good morning, good morning. Oh, I need to get the AC going. Hang on. Sister, it's not going to be hot. You know, we can be hot. We're women of a certain age. We cannot be hot. Good morning. All right. I'm afraid to put Michelle on duty because she didn't start acting up. When Michelle follows me around, you know, I put Michelle on duty, but sometimes she's a little bit too, oh, I think I need to put something else on. I'm still warm. Hang on. All right, Michelle, I know you're following me. Look at that. Wow, Michelle, you nosy. All right. Michelle. She's so cute. Look at that. She followed me all around. Okay, good, Michelle. All right, so here today, the first thing I want to do is to cook some bacon. Now, you know I don't use meat, but last week, what did I do? Oh, I made quiche Lorraine, and I had to buy some bacon, and I didn't even think that I might need it, but it just turns in handy that I was able to do that. So we're going to cook our bacon just a little bit. It's like 4 slices. We're going to cut them up, and get the paper towel. Once it's cooked, then we're going to drain it. Michelle, over here, Michelle. Come on. I like having fun with her when I call her, but I don't think when I move the stick it makes any difference because she's got a mind of her own. But anyway, we're going to cut this bacon. We're going to cut in what we call lardons, which means just small little cuts. All right, I don't think you can call them dices, right? So, oh, that's good. That's quite a bit. Wonder if I need all that. Right? So when you slice them and when they finish cooking, you call them lardons. Lardons. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. I may not use all of it because I didn't use a whole chicken. To make coq au vin, you only need dog meat, you know, legs and thighs. And then I also added the wings because I bought a whole chicken. All right? So, let me know if you can see the board. If you can't, then I'm going to turn Michelle off. But I don't want her to kind of be in the way. Sometimes I can't get her to come close to what I want. All right. So we're using our cast iron today, okay? All righty, let me wash my hands and I'm going to wipe the board. And then the next thing we're going to do All right, I want to tell you something about this cocoa vin. Hang on. All it means is chicken in wine, right? But the only red wine that I had, because I am not a red wine person, is a Malbec. And I think the best wine to use for this is a Merlot, right? But Merlot is just like too much tanning or whatever we call that. It's just bitter to me. I don't like red wine. So this one is not very red, which means the sauce is not going to be very dark, okay? But you worry more about the flavor than the look. Alrighty? So that's a disclaimer. Alright? We're going to do that. Now, cocoa vin, I've seen people do it all kinds of ways. I made sure I marinated my chicken last night, and I posted another video where I show you the marinade. I always like to marinate my chicken at night. So I marinated it, and then I added the wine. So my cocoa vin is not going to be dark red, okay? But the flavor is going to be there. All right. Sometimes, I think I watched somebody make it. They did not put the wine in the marinade. And of course, nobody is seasoning the chicken and then adding the wine. But you know, I need flavor. So I put the seasoning in my chicken like I would season any chicken, and then I added the wine. Some people put the wine, or they cook the wine separately and reduce it and then add it to it. So you have different ways of doing it, right? But, so when you're doing cocoa vin, you're going to use a little bit of like, I was looking for the really cute individual carrots that you could like almost glaze, like you do glazed carrots. Of course, couldn't find that. So I have some regular carrot sticks. I'm going to use one, and then going to cut it in a certain way. Then you also need pearl onion. Well, I could not find that here. I went into the freezer, I couldn't find it, so there's no pearl onion. So, to replace the pearl onion, because you got that cute little round, white, shape, I have this little bag of potatoes. So I'm going to use the small round potatoes and pretend that they are the pearl onion, right? And then usually when you do cocoa vin, you sit it atop mashed potatoes. Now, I am not a mashed potato person, and I don't cook potatoes like that. I'll eat some sweet potatoes, but white potatoes is a white starch, which I don't include in my diet. So, but I have these, so we're going to boil it and have a little bit of mashed potatoes so we can sit our chicken on top of it. Of course we got to do that. Alright, so let me get my, and I found some, I was so excited to find some really thin string beans, because good for you. Usually the ones that I see here, they're like really big and have like the seeds in there, and I don't like that. So I was so happy to find that. It's almost like haricot vert, right? So that is good for me. So now we have the bacon is almost done. I'm gonna get some carrots. And mushroom. You have to have mushrooms. You have to have mushrooms. When people talk about all kinds of fancy looking mushrooms, I was just glad I found mushrooms, okay? I am not worried about Alright, I think that 1 carrot will do. Alright? And I did get some mushrooms. I do have some Swiss chard that I need to use, but I think I prefer the haricot vert, the green string beans. And I think, what else was I looking for? Asparagus. My store didn't have it yesterday. Welcome to Panama. You don't find everything all the time. It's like once in a while, you'll find something today, you may not see it tomorrow. Let's see. Yes. So, that's pretty good. Horno. Hongo, we call it. Hongos. Alright. So, we're going to use mushrooms in the chicken, some carrots, and little round potatoes to pretend that they are pearl onion. You know I'm very creative that way. I will make things up as I go. Alright, so let's drain the bacon. And you know what? I always wonder, why do we drain the bacon when we're going to put it in the sauce? Okay, that doesn't make sense to me, because it's going to get soft. Alright. But that's what you do. We pretend that we are keeping this dish healthy. No. I know I crack myself up, you guys. You know that. Alright, so now that is not a lot of fat. If it was a lot, I would drain some of it out, but I think that's just enough for me to cook the chicken, so I'm going to leave it there. But, of course, before I do that, why are you steaming? It shouldn't be a lot of heat. Ugh. Alright, let me take it off to the heat for a little bit. We are going to add some onions and garlic. Always. Before I brown the chicken. And then while the chicken is cooking, then I'm going to cook the potatoes because they're small, they won't take long. So, garlic. Garlic and I, we have a love relationship. I absolutely love garlic. Now, I want you to know something I just read. What was that? I was in the shower, and I always have my phone in the bathroom. You know, I'm addicted, I guess, but I try to make it, you know, if I'm watching something, that it's something, you know, worthwhile, that I can learn something. But anyway, I am a big proponent of turmeric, right? I put turmeric in my smoothies. I put turmeric in my food, but I don't overdo it. This guy was talking just now about how he developed signs of liver failure, because he thought, as he was getting older, you know how people are always into all these supplements. I keep warning you guys about those things. I say eat a healthy diet and you won't have to use all these supplements because they can be dangerous. So he said he had like some kind of mixture of DHEA and other things, you know, people tell you that you need. And then I think he bought like, you know how you go online and you order a supplement, and I'll tell you my story of buying a liver cleanse that almost sent me to the hospital. That's why I don't do cleansing anymore. I don't believe in that. And then this guy was getting jaundice, and all his liver enzymes were high, and the doctor was saying he's got hepatitis A. And it turns out he was getting a super large dose of turmeric. And that's what was killing his liver. Guys, be careful, okay? You don't need a mega dose of anything. Vitamin C, calcium, your body can only absorb so much. But some of them will hurt you. That's what I say. I just eat healthy. I take a calcium, a multivitamin sometime, and I'm not even regular. Then that's it. Well, I do take B12 because I don't eat meat on a regular basis. And even then, that's not, you know, every day. I forget most days to take it. Alright, we're going to put this back on. Oh, this thing is so heavy. The cast iron. Alright. think I'm going to put turn Michelle off and lower this so you guys can see better. Come on, Michelle. Whew. All right. Here we go. Okay. So now we are going to cook some onions. Let the onion soften up. I always start my dishes with onion and garlic. Always. Because once it cooks, it disappears in the food, but it's just good to flavor your food, okay? So don't scratch on that. I think I was doing another recipe and I was looking for shallots. Well, nowhere to be found. It's like, shallot what? All right. But when you live abroad, you adjust. You use what you can, and you just ignore the stuff that you can't get. You substitute or you go without. I tell people I have not ordered anything from Amazon here, and they're just, what? Some people get deliveries like as if they were in the States. I don't. Right? I'm like, if they don't have it here, I don't need it then. So 3 cloves of good garlic. Ooh, yes. And I know this friend, she said she doesn't use the garlic here because it's from China. I don't know. I just go and use it. You know, sometimes you have to go by faith. Because someone said the whole Western culture is based on faith. Because whatever you do, you're just hoping it's going to work, right? Your washing machine, your car, you turn the light on, you switch on. You expect that the light is going to come on. It is a culture of trust, right? The water that we consume, ooh, are you positive that it's all good for you? You don't know that. So a lot of the time I say you have to just close your eyes, pray, and just go, right? Yep, that's what I do. Because if you start worrying about every little thing, you're going to be a miserable human being. But yeah, wash your fruit and your vegetables, soak them, brush them, yes, because you know they spray the pesticide. But will you be pesticide free? I don't think so. In some of our bodies and constitution are stronger than others. Why do people get sick about certain things and other people don't? Because we are all individuals and we have different immune system, right? Come on, baby. Let us soften these onions. All right, and then we are going to work on the potatoes. Oh, because I'm going to have to peel these potatoes. Oh my goodness. I still haven't bought a good peeler. It's on my list. Come on, babe. Vamos. Put the garlic in, and then we're going to put the chicken, let it brown a little bit, and then work on the sauce. Now, I did say yesterday that when I'm ready to put the liquid from the marinade, I'm going to strain it because I had added herbs and stuff in it, right? So all the flavors I've already marinated. Remember, take a few minutes and marinate your food, and you will never regret it. Don't cringe on the first steps. That's what you say. Once your garlic is fragrant, it's good because you never want to burn your garlic, right? Okay. some real good tongues. Yeah. That was the best I could find here. I'm looking for some metal ones. All right, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take the chicken out and we're going to pat them down. Because you don't want your chicken to be wet when it hits here, right? And these are these are some big thighs. Look at these. Woo. Okay, so let us pat them dry. Because we're going to put them skin down, right? Because that's what we want to brown. So I'm going to make room, move the garlic up because I don't want it to burn. Right? And we're going to put those down. And the rest of them, we got the drumsticks and the wings, that's all. Now I have to keep an eye on this heat because sometimes once the cast iron is warm, it's really, really hot. We don't want to burn anything. Okay. Wash my hands. I just cut the chicken. In these hands, you can have life or you can have death. Wash your hands, folks. Wash your hands. Alright, so I'm keeping an eye on this. I don't want anything to burn. But I want to get the skin to kind of brown a little bit. Okay? Alright. So now let's get started on the potatoes. We have the lardon. So I'm going to start the water here for the potatoes, and it's gonna be gonna put some salt, and again I don't want a lot of potatoes because I don't want to eat a lot of mashed potatoes. Do not. Alright, so potatoes are very sensitive to oxidation, so you always put them like in water. Now remember, I'm going to use a few of the little ones. I'm going to pretend that they are pearl onions. Woo. Yep. Alright, how are you guys doing? I bet it smells amazing. Yes, ma'am, it does. But I love the cast iron. It's just beautiful. I don't know if I told you the story of how I brought this with me. And I put it in my carry-on because I didn't want something to happen to it. Plus it's going to, weigh too much in my regular bag. So the first of the carry-on, when I went through the x-ray machine, of course, they pulled it to the side to look at it. And then the guy, the inspector, would pick it up, and he looked at it. I forgot where I was. I made a stop. And then I kept saying, please don't take it out. Please don't take it. And then I looked at him, and I'm like, it's not a weapon. It's really not. Oh, my gosh. All right. I bet. Ooh, nice. I got a nice little caramelization on my chicken. Look at that. I don't want it to burn. Oh, that's good. I think this one could stay in there a little bit longer. Oh, nice. Oh, this one is beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So, yep. Keep an eye on it. I may lower the heat a little bit. Alright. Well, you know how I do. I hate to see my stove dirty. Alright. Let's keep going. I'm going to salt. Oh, did you guys see that Anne Burrell, the one who died in New York? Yesterday they said it could have been a drug overdose. Oh my God. So sad. Jesus. There's something about this chef. This job is deadly. Look at Anthony Bourdain. So many other chefs have committed suicide. What in the world is wrong? It's a high-pressure job, that's for sure. But in her case, somebody said they had taken her off the Worst Cooks of America show. I don't know, so maybe she got depressed. Oh, Lord. That breaks my heart. I love to watch her with that spiky hair. And everybody says the same thing. And they say every time they are cooking pasta, they're just saying, salt like the sea. Even I say it, it says salt your pasta water like the sea because the pasta can handle the salt. And they also said, she said something about malting. I never watched that show, but I know of it. I used to just watch the competition. I forgot what they call it. The one with the crazy basket? Yeah, used to watch that. Okay, let me peel the big ones first because they're the ones I'm going to. Now, these are not Yukon, so I can't vouch for the quality of what's going to come out of them. So, I mean, if they were bigger, I would use a peeler, but, oh well. They're so small like that, I'm afraid the peeler is going to touch my hand. I might cut myself, and I'm not doing that. This is a knife that is not so sharp, so I'm good. Alright. So I'm just cooking enough potatoes to be able to have some to put the chicken on. Good. Ooh, that looks amazing. That looks good. Oh, yeah. But of course, I could not taste the marinade because that was raw chicken. So once I put the liquid in, then that's when I'm going to work on my flavor. So I think for this cast iron, because I don't have a top that is big enough, I'll just wrap it, coil it, right, to help the heat. when I was working at Downtown Disney, oh my gosh, we would peel bags of potatoes, bags of carrots, oh, and the lettuce. I didn't mind the lettuce because we had you had to soak the lettuce in these two big sinks, so to speak. And then, that restaurant was pretty good. I felt good about it because all my principle of cleanliness and temperature control, that chef was on it. So I like that because I'm a skeptic. I don't trust restaurants. I don't know what's happening in the back of the house. That's why I don't eat out much. Lots of people telling me, oh, I felt sick. I'm like, what did you eat? Stop eating out. They found some funders here in a particular area. I was impressed that they even made some inspection. I was happy to see that. They found that, things were not really kosher back there. Chicken sitting around, ooh, that is dangerous. You can die. No, I eat at home because when I cook, I know my standards and I know I don't cross-contaminate. That's why you keep washing your hands. Have different boards. I have a board for my fruit and I have a board for everything else. If I cut meat, usually chicken, because I don't eat beef or anything like that, I will wash it. You have to wash it with hot soap and water. Wash your hands so you don't, when you're ready to cut your veggies, your salad, you don't cross-contaminate. You can die, folks. I'm not playing with that. You could. So be careful. Okay? Even when you're cooking for your family, just keep in mind that, this could be a restaurant. And you don't want people to get sick. Let's see. Oh, a few more. Alrighty. And then the mushrooms, I can already smell the wine. And when you cook fish, you're making fish soup or whatever, just use a little wine with the protein and let it evaporate, right? You want the wine to evaporate. And I know people will say, oh, wine, aren't you going to get drunk? No. You're not going to get drunk from cooking with wine. Oh, my God, no. All right. Oh. All right. Cup of wine. Yeah, no, mine definitely is not going to be red because my wine doesn't have too many, what do they call those? Tanners, I think? Yes, that's what's in Merlot. That's why I don't like it. It's so bitter. And I work with a nurse. That's all she drank was Merlot. And I'm like, give me a Chardonnay, please. All right, I see. So I'm just going to cook enough potatoes so I can put it on the plate to show you. But the rest of these little potatoes, I'm going to wash them really good. I'm not going to peel them. I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to use my herb oil and I'm going to pop it in the oven. Woo-hoo. Really good. Roasted potatoes. And you can do that with any veggies. I need to get some squash. I can't live without squash. All right. So I think that should be enough. And trying to time the potatoes because you want to serve the potatoes warm. You don't want to serve them cold. All right, so I'm going to put these in the water here. You don't see it, but it's right here. I think I have too much water, but that's okay. Whew. I think that should be plenty for the potatoes. I'm going to keep the water so I can keep peeling. But I'm going to pay some attention to this chicken here. Right? Okay. So, Now, you know the chicken, those thighs are the ones that need the most time to cook. Is those chicken thighs. They take the longest, right? But the reason we like cooking with the cast iron is that the heat gets distributed more evenly in a cast iron because the material is a good conductor of heat. All right, so we're gonna put the carrots, and then I have to rush to get the potatoes in. Oh, there it is. And then at downtown Disney, I had to peel carrots like that. We had machines to cut things down, but not to peel like that. So it was like, you had to really be fast because when you got there and you got your assignment, you said you needed to do so many boxes of this, so many boxes of that. So imagine you're doing 8 hours and we used to make all kinds of dressing. We made honey mustard, we made the vinaigrette. Oh my gosh, I love that. We had all kind of recipes that the chef had to work with. And the restaurant I was working at was, what did they call it? Garland Road? It was an Irish restaurant. All right, so I'm going to do mine on a bias. That's what they call this shape. So they're not really thin, right? So you're thinking potatoes. Okay. Well, that one's a little big, so we're going to cut that one in half. So we'll go ahead and put the potatoes in. Ooh, nice. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to keep those. I love eating raw carrots, don't you? Love it. All right. I'm going to strain the liquid. This is the marinade with the wine. Okay. Ooh, it smells so good. Now I know I'm going to need more liquid, right? Okay. I don't know if I have stock, but we shall see. Do I have stock? Stock. No, no veil. All right. So we're going to add a little bit more water. You know what I could have done also when I took but I didn't want to do that. When I took the bacon out, it's just making like a little bit of a roux with some flour to thicken the sauce. But you know, I always use cornstarch, and cornstarch works really good for me. Ooh, doesn't that look pretty already? Look at that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cover this and make sure it is cooking, right? Because I don't have a cover, a top that is big enough. So we're gonna let this go for a good 30 minutes, but I think halfway I have to put my potatoes in. Okay? Excellent. Excellent. Did I get to work on the green beans, so increase the heat. Okay, so now, excuse me, whew, I didn't have tea today. You know, I'm tempted to add a little bit more wine, but I'm not going to because I don't want to overwhelm the dish with the taste. Everything I feel should be balanced. All right. Papas. And you know, I took Spanish. Sorry, cooking with my mouth full. But I think in Spain, they call Spanish patata. And here we call it papas, papa. So it's always important to know the cultural variations. And you know, with the potatoes, I don't eat a whole lot because I'm trying to replace the pearl onions. Trying to be a little bit creative here. But yeah, Garland Road, I think that's what it used to be called, the restaurant. They made a bread pudding. OMG. That was amazing. I'll make it here one time, but whew, it's so rich. But so good. And around St. Patty's Day, I'm trying to think if we made the brisket with the cabbage. I know at the restaurant I made it, and there were some Irish little ladies who came to eat it, and they said, well, that's pretty good, Maggie. You know, Irish, that's pretty good. I felt so good. Just like I feel good when I make sancocho here, and the two ladies who were Panamanian said, really good sancocho. And I'm like, ooh, you make my day. Oh my gosh, I love cooking. I do. God has blessed me with something, loving something, and you know, to find something that you love to do is therapy. I don't spend money going to counseling. I just cook. Right? That's what I do. Let's see. 2 more, and I should be done. Dos más. I'm getting quite a few inquiries about Spanish classes. I think the challenge for me is that people call, they say they want to do it, and then you say, okay, let me wait till I have maybe 5 or 6 people or start a class, and then they start falling off, so you end up with 2 people in your class. But you know, you committed, you still have to do it, and then somebody said, do you do Spanish classes? Have you had Spanish classes? I asked, and they're like, no, I'm a very beginner. So it's really hard to have, you know, people come into a class that has started, because, you know, you start with the alphabet, the vowels, so they're going to miss that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Maybe I can do a little special intro session just to bring them up to where the rest of the class is. You know, that's a good idea. I just thought about that. Thank you, Lord, for giving me ideas. See. Uno más. Oh no, these are big. Well, not big. Maybe this one. And no más. After that, then we're gonna get the hongos ready, the mushrooms. Yep. And then we can doctor our taste. You know, we're gonna have to put some acids in there. The potatoes are boiling. Yeah, things are just working out well. That's what we do in Maggie's kitchen. We look at the time and we try to make sure everything comes out about the same time. Okay, so we know potatoes don't take a long time, and what I don't want to do is for the potatoes to kind of fall off and be overcooked. So I am going to wait a little bit before. I think I'm going to wait till the chicken is really almost done and then put the potatoes in, right? Because I don't want them to be overcooked. Timing is everything. All right, put the here. Now, I'm gonna need the potato masher. All right, let's take this out. It's got chicken, so it needs to go. We don't need this anymore. You see, that's how you think in your kitchen to make sure you don't accidentally cross-contaminate. I'm just snacking on the carrots. I used to buy the bag of baby carrots, right? On those. Now they talk about some fancy mushrooms. I don't. I'm just gonna take these out. And then cut the mushrooms in two. Yeah, we don't need the stem. Alright? Oh, I used to love mushrooms in my salad. I haven't bought them here in Panama because it's not something they have. I'm sure it's imported. Let's see. Export quality. Okay, well, that tells me everything I need to know. I knew they were imported. All right, we're gonna check the potatoes real quick. Stick the knife in, make sure it goes through. Then we know they're done. And we want our potatoes to be as dry as possible because we're gonna make a mixture of butter and cream. I have some leftover cream. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I'm gonna leave this one. It's chiquito. So I think that's good. And the rest of the mushrooms, I better make sure I eat them fast before they go bad, right? All right. Vamos. Estamos. Okay, we're gonna get the butter out. And where's the cream? When did I have cream? What did I do to have cream? Oh, the quiche Lorraine, yes. Now you see, I got this pure New Zealand butter. I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, oh yes, they have Kerrygold too. I think it's like $12 a pound. It's like, ouch, ouch, whew. Cheese, berries, butter, super expensive. All right, vamos a checar las papas. A ver, ¿cómo están? Oh, no, not yet. Bueno, está bien. I'm gonna rinse the mushrooms. How are you guys doing today? Let's see. Looks delicious. You said hi. Somebody said yes, Deborah. Agostino Specmilling. Ooh, hola. I can see the name. All right, still snacking on some carrots. Potatoes are good. Oh, we're gonna melt some butter with the cream. Very easy. I need to get a pot that is smaller than this. So, leftover butter from my last block. I think we need just a little bit more. I don't want a lot because again, if I'm gonna eat it, don't need all that fat. But I know I need some fat, okay? Remember, I'm not one of those people that's I need no fat, no sugar, no flour, nothing, nada, nada, nada. I'm not one of those people, okay? Because I know we need something. All right. That's a video for now. I'm going to put it, apparently, I have a metal burner. Let's see if it works. I've never used it. Metal. Put it on 8 inches, see if it burns. Then we're gonna add, I only have a little bit of cream left and that's all, I don't want any more. Bastante. Alright. So now, another dish to do the string beans. When I tell you I was excited to find string beans, oh yeah, it is working. Look at that. I do have 5 burners. First time using it. I thought it was one of those that kind of kept things warm, but that's okay. All right. I was so excited to find this habituelas, which is what they call string beans, right? In French, we call them haricots verts. But the one that I saw here, Serra Punta, which is in the west of the country here, that's where they make it. It's like, yes. The ones that I used to see were like really harsh. I'm thinking they would be really hard to cook. But I was happy to find these. Now I know people leave them in with the string and the little end. I don't like that, so I take mine off. This is how I always do my string beans. It's like yesterday when I was cleaning the chicken. I'm telling you, when I was growing up, we had to. Ooh. Okay. It's already melting the butter. Oh, that's plenty of butter. Yeah, when you are cleaning your chicken, when I was growing up, there is like some veins inside the thighs that they made us take off, and I'm like, why did we do that? I don't know. I never questioned it, but to this day, I do it. All right, the butter is all melted and hot, so we're gonna put the little bit of cream in there. Ooh, I don't even need all of it. I think that's enough. Don't break it. Yeah, that's enough. We're gonna take it off the heat for now. Leave it on 2. Potatoes are still boiling. The chicken is cooking. Let it cook for a little bit longer. All right, we're doing good on time. I think today's gonna be about maybe an hour and a half, if that. Perfecto, see? ¿Cómo están? Estoy cocinando. How do we say cock in Spanish? Gallino? Gallino con vino. Okay? That's funny. That's cute. Alright. My worst restaurant job that I had was doing the meat section, the prep for the meat section. Oh my God. You had the chicken section, okay, because you had those walk-in freezers. So when you were assigned, you made sure you wore some extra sweaters or something because you were going to be working for 8 hours in the cold temperatures. Because remember, the food had to be kept at a certain temperature. Oh my God, I felt so sorry for the people who were working there all the time. I think we're good. So I'm going to turn the the oven off for that, and leave them in the water for a few minutes. I'm going to drain. Did I put salt? I think I did. We're going to drain and then put them like on a strainer, just to make sure we get most of the water out, because your potatoes can't be wet because you're going to add that butter, that liquid butter. And mashed potato is not creamy potatoes. I don't have the little gadget to just squeeze and make sure everything is the right consistency. I don't have that, so, but I'm not, worried about that. Like I said, I had somebody tell me, well, you're just a regular cook. I'm more high end. I'm like, well, good for you, because I'm not impressed with that. I don't want to use tweezers to put edible flowers on my food. And I don't have any desires to work in a high whatever restaurant, right? Okay. So don't bring all that thinking that I'm going to be impressed and you make me feel bad. No. No, senor. If I want someone to enjoy my food, I want the food to be tasty and to look good. So you want variety and you want to have different colors on your food. Because when somebody sees a plate that looks colorful, the taste buds starts to, the little hormones, and then you start salivating. It comes from your brain, from what your eye sees, right? I have seen some posts online, and I'm like, you eat that? Everything is brown, and no ma'am, not me. All right, we have enough. We're going to rinse these, and they'll be ready. And then we're gonna cook them really quickly, blanch them, and then put them in an ice bath so we don't lose the color. That's how you keep your fruit, your veggies. Like broccoli and anything else, you want to make sure that once you steam it, make sure it's still green, and then put it in ice. You stop the cooking process, and you keep that vibrant green color. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's rinse these. They'll be ready. And then once we have the, oh my goodness. You guys forgot to tell me to put my potatoes in. All right, don't burn me. With the steam. Woo. With the steam. All right. So, oh, nice. The carrots are good. I think the chicken is good. So, at the end, we're going to have to put some herbs. Now, I want to put a bouquet garni in there with some thyme. I did get some cilantro this week. Where was I? I went to a town out of the city called La Chorrera. And when I went inside this place called America, they call it America. We have America here. And I went in and I said, do you have cilantro? Because sometimes I have a hard time finding it. All right, let's get a taste. It tastes good. But it will definitely need some acid, right? All right, so we're going to turn. This is 9 on 9, so it's on high. So we're going to put the potatoes in the middle so they cook a little bit quicker. I don't think we need to cover this again because that's good. And of course the mushrooms don't need to go in too early, right? All right, so let's make sure we got that. Let's get a bouquet. Yep. I went to get a bag of bay leaves, and I couldn't find it yesterday at Ray, but I think I saw it at Super 99. Listen, this is the thing we have to deal with here in Panama. You will find different things at different stores, so you just have to know where to get this, where to get that. That annoys some people. It really can be an annoyance, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So you can either deal with it or you run yourself ragged. And look at that, they sell you the with the root. So you gotta cut it off. Oh my gosh. And that makes me want to wash it off. And I know what else I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put a whole habanero. That's my little Caribbean twist. Okay? Because that always brings me really good flavor. I don't care if it's French. I have to magicize it. Alright. Aquí. And then let's get a habanero. This chef told me that there are scotch bonnet. I don't know, I'm not going to argue the point. Because when I looked it up, ahi chumbo, it says it's habanero. So, alright, so we have the thyme and the cilantro in here. Potatoes are cooking. Let's drain our potatoes. Well, let's see, do I mash it now or do I wait? Because I want to be able to serve it hot or warm. So let's wait. Let's get the haricot vert going. The green beans, right? Alright, let me doctor this a little bit. It's really good. But of course it needs a little something. Little help. So we're gonna put a little bit of adobo. But actually it's got enough salt. I don't need to put a lot of salt in. But you know, I haven't put any salt. It's been whatever spices. Definitely needed a little bit of that heat for me. Okay. Potatoes, cook yourselves, babies. Alright, I think I went a little too generous on the liquid. I thought it was going to be cooking a little more forcefully. Yeah, I get issues with this burner sometimes. It doesn't go the way I expect it to go. But you know what? I just have to deal with it. Okay, it's not. It should be blazing hot. Sometimes I have to turn it off and then turn it back on. Alright. Take that out. Yeah, the potatoes, I'm going to mash them in here. And the haricot vert, I need to get another. Oh, there we go. See? You got to turn it on, turn it off, and turn it on again. All right. Now it's going. You see what I mean with this thing? All right. That's what it was supposed to be doing. Alright. Now we're talking. Whew. Okay. I need a strainer for the potatoes. I like that one. still have the mushrooms to go in, but the potatoes need a few more minutes. And once the taste is what I want, then I'm going to do the cornstarch. Okay. All right. Actually, I don't think it needs too much acid. I'm not going to put some more acid. I think it's got enough acid. Yep. All right, I'm going to put the mushrooms in. I have the water going for the haricots verts. Ooh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. So you get to know your stove, to know how they work. I had to turn this thing off and turn it back on again to get it to work. That's why most people don't like electric ranges. They like the gas so you can control the flame. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in the water for the peas. Very good. Bowl and basket. Very good brand here. But you could have done this. Oh, I forgot the lardon. I have to put the bacon back in there. Lardon. I'm glad I remembered. And that definitely is going to add some flavor to it. Right? You have to bring the bacon back in. I'm putting all of it in because I don't want to leave this out here for me to eat. Let's put it. I think it's a little bit much though. Yum, yum, yum. Why do you want to go out and eat when you can make this? You know, I talk to the sisters, they're like, oh, I don't like to cook. And I'm like, I really can't relate to it. I really can't. I love you, sis, but I can't relate. Or, you know, because, you know, you got people here walking around fancy. Oh, chef so-and-so is doing his thing. They have chefs and stuff. And I'm like, oh, good for you, sis. But I don't know. To me, it would make me feel like somebody else is cooking my food. Well, they are. I mean, once in a while. But I wouldn't want to have a chef on a regular. No. Para mí, no. Pero somos diferentes, see? We're all different. And that's what makes the world go around, that we all different. We come in different, you know, it's thickening up a little bit by itself. Oh, okay. You know, it's like when you're making the glace in cooking, you let your sauce reduce, a demi-glace. All these fancy French terms. So when I put a little butter, it's like monter au beurre. All right, come on. All right, we're gonna work on the potatoes now because I think I've waited long enough. Remember, you could have done a little roux after the bacon, okay? But to me, this is so harmless. When I just put a little bit of that in there, and it just totally works. We call this a slurry. The challenge is not to put too much, just to the desired consistency. So you just put a little bit at a time. Ooh, you see that? Just a little bit. Look at that. Un poquitito. Un poquitito. Very little. Okay? Vamos. Look at that. You know, I don't know, maybe just a tad over here. All right. Woo-wee. Oh, wow. That is perfect. You guys, can you see that? Can you see the glistening? So now I'm going to turn the heat down because I don't want it to get too dry. Okay? Woo-wee. Perfecto. Look at that consistency. See? It just rolls over the... Look at that. That's what you want. Oh, my gosh. Listen. And I'm not saying this because I want to impress you, but I want you to see how easy it is to cook some good food. Okay, so we're done. We don't need any more slurry. So, now, all right, you can go down a little bit. I don't even think I need to put any butter in this one. No. No. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Wow. Amazing. All right, come on, baby girl. And so I'm gonna cook the peas. I'm trying to speed it up a little bit right here. But while this is happening, come on, stop. Stop. Okay, now we're gonna work I can take the chicken off and just bring the potatoes back. Because I don't want this to keep cooking and getting rid of all my gravy. No. Mírame eso. Ooh. Okay, perfecto. Okay, so now I'm just gonna warm the, I'm just putting it on this here. We're gonna get the potatoes inside this, and I'm gonna let them drain a little bit, okay? Right here, drain these potatoes. Oh, I think I cooked too many. I'm not gonna do it all that. Okay. Whew. Oops. All right, let's put that over. All right. Water is boiling. We're putting our haricot there in to cook a little bit, but I'm gonna keep my eye on it because I don't want it to overcook, right? And I want to keep the color, so I'm gonna get a bath, an ice bath ready for it. Ready for them. All right. So I have this ready. Once I think they're ready, I'm gonna just dump some ice in there and do like a ice bath. Okay? Whew. All right, I don't want you to cook anymore. We just draining our potatoes. Take. Yes. Okay. So we have our potatoes here. Now, as I said, I am not a mashed potato expert, but I can do it. Where's my masher? Here's my masher. I'm going to start mashing softly. Perfecto. Now remember, this is mashed. It's not creamy potatoes. So, ooh, I like the color. It's all nice and yellow. All right, this is my butter and cream mixture. We're going to add a little bit more. If we need to, it's always better to start with little and then add more, because once it gets to be liquidy, it's like, ooh, it's a big mess. No, I think it can use a little more. Oh, maybe all of it. Yeah, I do not want to add more. Ooh. Butter and cream. Don't need mucho. So now we're going to put our butter. Oh, it looks good. The consistency is perfect. Our butter, we're going to season with, you know, I love this grinder that is really fine. That it's not, there's not chunks of. Now this, some recipe call for Lorry salt. Now I don't have Lorry salt, and I am not, oh, the adobo, I don't think it's a good thing for it. I don't know. Let me just taste. Because I'm thinking paprika, I don't want it to be red to mess up this pretty color of the mashed potato. The consistency is just great. Okay? I think the Pioneer Woman would be proud of me. But the Pioneer Woman's recipe calls for cream cheese. Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think I want to put cream cheese in my mashed potatoes. Ooh. It's enough to make, I've been wanting to make a cheesecake. Well, what would I do with it? Who would be eating the cheesecake? Oh, let me tell you. My nephew's girlfriend's birthday when she was here. I mean, that was the purpose of them coming to Panama. So I'm like, we have to have cake. So I went to Weber Smith and I bought a small cheesecake, which I was familiar with Weber's cheesecake because when we have a party, we ask some of the ladies to bring it. Let's see. Need some salt. But the butter is really good. Butter and cream. And we bought a small little thing of cheesecake. That was good with coffee. Look at that, guys. I did good, didn't I? Aww. For somebody who doesn't make mashed potatoes, you know, I feel like putting a little bit of what is it? Parsley flakes in here. Oh, I don't want anybody to get upset with me doing that. But I don't think I need to put anything in it. It tastes amazing. With just a little bit of cream and butter. We're good. All right. We are almost done. Wasn't that fun? Listen. Do you see why I love to cook? It just brings me so much joy. It does. And the mashed potatoes are perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Well, you know I'm going to eat it anyway because I'm not going to spend my money and my energy and not eat my food. All right. Mashed potatoes are good. So the beans are doing good. I'm going to turn the oven off. Let them sit in here and just kind of watch. Because what I don't want is for them to lose that pretty green color, right? Because when I plate, I want my haricot vert to be vert, which is green in French. Verde. Habichuelas verde. Green beans. All right, let's get the ice. And then we're back. ready to plate, ladies and gents? I enjoyed this one today. Ooh. Oh, come on, you're making so much noise here. Yes. Okay. So we have our ice bath. I can't put it here, that's too hot. Let's check the haricot-vert to make sure they cooked before we put them in here. Oh. I will. Because you want it to be a little bit with a bite. A minute more. Okay. So now we have to layer. You know, I always layer. So we're gonna. I think this lady told me she likes my placemat. I remember buying these in Arizona. I had gone to a conference and we stayed at this fancy resort. I used to travel quite a bit, especially when I was on boards and we would do retreats and every year they would go somewhere different. That's how I ended up in California. Where did we go again? Not San Diego. La Jolla. We went to La Jolla. Ooh, beautiful country. La Jolla, California. I rented a car and went all over. Then I went to Arizona. There was this fancy resort, and we always went to the fancy resort because I was on a board at a hospital, so I was kind of rubbing shoulders with the big wigs. And I bought these, and there was so much culture with the indigenous people there that I love that. Okay, so now I'm going to take the haricot-vert, put them in the ice bath. Whew. And then all I do, and I toss them up in a little bit of my herb oil, and that's it. Just to give them a little bit of a glistening, so they're in an ice bath right here, okay? All right. But anyway, so I thought we would use this plate today. I'm still on the hunt for a nice sized dinner plate. Listen, I don't know if I can get someone to bring one for me, but just carrying it around, even in your carry-on, would be hard. Maybe if you just bought it and then you really wrap it really well, right? I think that could work. All right, so this is gonna be our plate. So what we're gonna do here, ooh, I'm so excited for you guys to see this because, oh, and I don't have, maybe I can use some dry parsley to decorate. Yeah, I can do that. All right, come on, come down. Come down. There we go. Down. Okay, sometimes this thing has a mind of its own, right? Okay. Aki. All right, it looks a little lopsided, but at least you can see. So, look how pretty. Don't you like the yellow color of the potatoes? Yes. Oh my God. That is amazing. And then you're supposed to kind of spread it. Make a well, spread it. Oh, listen, it smells buttery. Woo. I love it. All right, then we're gonna bring the chicken. You know, I need 2 hands to bring this chicken over. It's so heavy. The cast iron is super heavy. Ooh. But you know what? I want to take a picture of my dish first before I you know, when I have a party, I have this long counter. So usually I just put dishes, and people just come and take their food. Oh, I don't have time to do anything else. All right. Vamos. Ooh, perfect. Ooh. Yes. I'm not a good photographer. Mashed potatoes. And the pioneer woman had more, she was into butter at one point and put some more butter in there. And I'm like, ooh, no. Enough. All right, so we're going to use, all right, let's drain the peas. I was washing the tongues. They have chicken, so I had to wash them real good because I'm going to need them for the peas, right? And we're going to need the, okay, maybe there's another one in here. Yes. That to take the chicken out of here, and then we're gonna need something else to pick up the gravy. So you want to put like, oof, that's a lot. That's a big thigh. You're gonna put it right here. I know that we need a drumstick, but I guess we're gonna have to, right? Yeah, that's good. All right. All right. Then we're going to pick up, maybe put a couple of tomatoes here, and only 2 tomatoes is enough. Then some of the ongos, which is mushroom, carrots, another carrot, ooh, and some of that lardon, which is the bacon. I think that's too big. Too big. Yeah, I think that's good. And more hongos. Okay, quiero que está bien. Put some gravy. Oh my word. You guys. Now this is, how much would you pay for a dish like this, huh? And have my green beans. Where's my herb oil? I hope I didn't finish it. Ooh, no bueno. Okay, no bueno. Oh, okay. I was like, no way, Jose. I'm never out of herb oil. This is God's stuff, okay? So you just need a little bit. There we go. Yeah, there. You just, huh? Right? And then you're going to put an order of that on the side. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Maggie, you did it. Ooh, I missed an ending here. Ah, okay. Don't like to see that. Green beans. Now you could put asparagus right here. I would have preferred asparagus, but I was so excited they didn't have asparagus. So here we go. And then you always make sure you clean your plate. So when somebody comes and you serve me food and I see the sauce all over there, I'm already judging you. I'm sorry. Especially if you tell me you're a chef. Then I really get upset. Because, you know, like we're saying, a lot of people are cooking online and calling themselves chefs. And we're like, okay, all right. We know what a chef looks like and how they cook. I mean, if they paid attention in class, right? Okay, here is dried parsley. No, I don't know. Some chefs may be upset of me doing that, but I just thought I needed a little something, something. All right. We are done. Ladies and gents, the finished product. Coq au vin with mushrooms and green beans, carrots. Voila. What do you think? Now see, I have all kind of good hormones flowing through my brain because I enjoy watching the product of my labor. I don't know if that parsley, I should have put that there. But that's too late. But I know that chicken is amazing. Okay? So, I'm going to have mashed potatoes today. Oh my God. And I'm really close to finishing my challenge. And then I'm going to have mashed potatoes with cream and butter. No bueno. Not too much salt. Perfect. Alright guys. Big picture. Where's Greta? Greta, you gonna send the drone to get your plate? Yes, Greta? Oh my gosh. How much would you pay for this dish? I want to know. I smell the wine. And, oh my goodness. Listen, y'all. I'm just telling you. Learn how to cook. You don't have to make chicken coq au vin. You don't have to do that. In fact, I think I'm going to start a series for new cooks, people who live alone like myself, because you know everything I do is about the older woman. So you can cook some really easy, you know, casseroles, chicken dishes, and I do a lot of meatless dishes because I'm mostly no food plant-based, right? All right, I'm gonna try it. Okay, I love carrots, so carrots and squash, chayote. I have 3 chayotes in here that I'm going to cook with that pata, which is that cow foot. Did I show you the cow foot that I bought yesterday? You saw it. I bought a big cow foot, but I think I had it at a fonda, and it was really good. And then I was talking to the gentleman last night, and he's like, you need to have the soup. So I told him I went to La-SWRA to try the sashimi at Las Abejas. And I said, where do I find that soup? I think he said, Los Santos, no, Agua Dulce. I can go to Agua Dulce and try to find it. Yes, I'm all for that. If it has to do with food. So, if you know of any place around here where I can find something that's special, and I told him that I had a good sancocho in La-SWRA, and he's like, Agua Dulce. I'm like, okay. Because I know Colon has they make a good fish soup. You know, sopa de mariscos. So, but I think it's harder for me to get to Colon than to get to a place like Agua Dulce. You gotta enjoy your food too. And I do, as a chef, I love what I cook. Wine. Oh, it's got bacon too, more fat. When I was in school, we cooked with a lot of bacon, pancetta. Mmm. 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 Sorry. For those of you watching, can you just go do it too? You can enjoy it with me. Mm. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. It's amazingly, everything I cook is delicious. I'm going to tell you that because I pay attention to marinating and I pay attention to how I start all my dishes. Onion, garlic, finish up with herbs, a splash of acid. That's pretty much all you need. Control your temperature, don't burn the food, and go for it. So we'll start a new series about the same time and I start my exercise program for different levels. We're going to start the program for different kinds of cooks. So maybe we'll say maybe the first Sunday of the month is just for new cooks. And we're going to start with the basics, you know, some of the stuff you need to have in your kitchen in terms of utensils and controlling temperature and talking about soups and all kind of stuff. All right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. Again, God loves you. I love you. Au revoir. Bye.